Hello, hello, hello. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and we are back with another live stream. And today, I'm planning to continue working on. Um, Today, I'm planning to continue working on the Vault IQ application. Since I didn't want to do algorithms today, it's already 8:30 at my time, so I'm going to be streaming for 2 hours and try to squeeze as much as productivity as possible. So let's see how much we can get and how much we can, gain traction on. So yeah, with that in saying, without any further ado, let me just quickly go live. And yeah, everything seems good except this. Yeah, everything seems good. We can go live. Cool. Yeah, feel free to leave out any question on the chat if you have anything or any kind of suggestions or anything. Yeah. So the question is what we are doing today. Okay, so let's quickly open up the application and show exactly what we are doing. So even though we say it's like a Google Drive clone, it is not. Uh, it is not a Google Drive clone itself. So it is, like I say, a Google Drive clone because people relate to it more faster. It's basically a file management or organization project where you can upload files and things like that, exactly how you would use Google Drive. Okay. So if I run this, GitHub React Vault. Do I have anything pending? I do have anything pending. Okay. Let's actually see what I have pending in here. Okay. Cool. Okay, user information storage is not done. We have to store the user information and /me and all of that. Okay, cool. Cool. So let's quickly find out what we are doing here. Sorry. We are storing the information that we do this thing. So if I just go back here, so if I say login with Google, it's going to log in with Google. I have to log in with the profile. And if I go there, it's going to be basically Google login and it's going to say hello. I'm sorry. One thing that I would like to do first is I feel we have to get the refactoring done so that I can start working with profile services. So create profile basically takes in the profile picture and all of that. So this also has to be transactional because if anything fails in between, we do have to say, okay, this is where we need to back out. Okay, this is where we need to back out, right? This is what my understanding is. Okay. So I'm a little bit hungry, so I'm gonna have a little bit of food along the way. I hope that's okay. Mm. Okay, so where were we? So we have the Google user and all of that. So we say this thing. So we have provider. Yeah. You know what I do want to do? I want to tuck away everything inside something called an auth service, right? So if I just go here, I'm gonna call it auth service interface. So in here, I'm just gonna say public void. Well, don't need that. So let's just say this for now, and then implement IMPL. Okay. So this has to be a service. So in here, what I'm gonna say is, so this is where you need to get the user information, right? So once you have the user information, I want to make the call and Honestly, I'm not exactly sure how GitHub is going to work. Sorry. So I'm not quite certain of how I'm going to have to refactor this. Hmm. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I'm not going to do an auth service for now. I'm just going to keep it like this. This is good for me, good enough for me. It doesn't do a lot of things. It's just 145 lines of code. One thing we can look at here is, so if I just remove build, sorry, and yeah, it's just 807 lines of code that we have been going on, right? So, and if I just go to front end, if I just go to front end, go to source, we have written 143 lines of code, honestly, right? So it's not really much that we have done till now. So this is backend, and I'm just gonna, go ahead and keep this. Why is it like? Okay, so let me just quickly restart. Okay, so this still works fine. This I feel is good. What we have to do here is in the profile service section. We have to wait. Why did it go back there? Okay, my bad. So download the image and upload to the local container. So the first thing we have to make sure is that the local container has something called avatars. So if I have extensions, not extensions, if I go here, yeah, so local emulator should have a container right on startup. That's one thing that we have to make sure of. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we do that, right? Let me quickly see if my voice is good. Right, so, and if I just go to front end, if I just go to front end, go to source, we have written 143 lines of code. Okay, so let me just, yeah, so local emulator should have a container right on startup. That's one thing that we have to make sure of. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, maybe the gain is better now. Let me see if I'm increasing the gain. I'm not. How do we do that, right? Let me quickly see if my voice is good. Right, so, and if I just go to front end, if I just go to front end, go to source. Okay, I hope it's better now. Let's see quickly. Yeah, so local let me quickly see if my voice is good. Okay, I hope it's better now. Let's see quickly. Okay, seems fine. Let's actually get back to the problem. All right. So what we have to do here is we have to download the image and upload it to the container. The thing that we have to make sure here is that it's a transactional thing. So if any one of them fails, the other thing also fails. So first we have to create the profile. Well, instead of creating the profile, what we can do? We can generally just create something called new object ID. Sorry, new object ID. And here, if I just say new object ID, what all things does it expects? It expects your timestamp, counter, and a hex string. Okay. Hex string is something that we're not going to work with. Okay, so it's just the timestamp and the counter. So it just says on new date. If I send to date, that's a different thing in here. And okay, what I do want to do here is that I just want to make sure that this is unique, right? Because if if two people are somehow going at it at one go, it needs to be a atomic operation, right? It needs to generate a unique object ID. The question is, how do we do that? That's a good question. How do we do it? I should like my own stream also, right? Yeah. I'm gonna close this on my here. I'm gonna just open it on my phone. And go to YouTube. Oh, in fact, I kind of forgot one thing. So just give me a second to leave a promotional chat, right? Because why not? Okay, cool. So one thing that I do want to do here is one thing I want to do here is that so what do we start with? I think we can start with this avatar save. So for avatar save, basically what I can say is this is too loud for me, honestly, the music. Yeah, okay, so one of the things we can do here is to try and get this. If it's not done, it's not done. Okay, so this can, I don't think so, is an atomic this thing. So you have a nonce and next. Okay, so get an increment. Okay, so this I'm pretty sure is get an increment is atomic. Okay, atomically increments the values. So I think we should be good here, honestly. It should be good here, because if I just go here, it says this new date. So if I do this, it's gonna go here, which is a random value, bit masked with okay, so you generate a new counter. Oh, I didn't know that. That is pretty cool. Well, you generate a new counter, which is next counter is gonna be atomic. Awesome. And then lower order 3 bytes. So you just take the lower order 3 bytes, right? 00 FFF. So if you do that, yeah, okay, makes sense. Well, okay. So I think we should be pretty good here. So one thing we're gonna do is, we're just gonna delete everything that we have, and object ID should be this. Okay. So profile, new profile dot set ID is nothing but this thing. Okay. So that's pretty much it. But before that, we have to get this particular profile picture, right? So let's do the usual thing. We start iterating here, and that is when we, like, if everything goes good, we're just gonna fall back, like, do a refactoring, right? So the question is, how do we do this? How do you do this? So you definitely need a private final REST client. If I'm not wrong, that's what it was. Okay. REST client dot get dot URI. Mm, Profile picture URL. Should be fine. And then so let's actually look what you expect in here, right? What you expect in here. So here, can I just do this? Binary output can, yeah, okay. So curl v this thing, output react dot jpeg. Okay. So it's HTTP2, by the way. Access control origin. So these are all return values. So I don't think so we have to send anything as such in the headers, right? Because if I just have React JPEG open, it should open up my image. Okay, cool. So, okay. So, yeah. What exactly do we need in here? So I think how you do it is you say URI and then you say retrieve to entity. So I can simply say byte dot class. Okay, so this would give me back a response byte, response entity. So if response dot is status is success, if it is not, so to do so if it is successful, we are going to do things here. Save the image and get the picture URL. Okay, this is what we are going to do. This is what we are going to do. We can create the object here. I mean, it's not necessary to create the object if it fails. This would be a more micro optimization, I feel. Let's actually do it. It's not gonna be harmful, right? So it's not gonna be harmful that much. Well, we are not scaling to 1,000,000 users, right? So it's definitely not gonna be harmful. So save the image and get the picture URL, okay? And if not, so what I'm gonna simply do here is that logger.warn could not download image from this thing. dot status back as this thing, falling back to default avatar URL. So in here, what I do want to say is, so status code from picture URL, profile picture URL, and status code, right? So what I'm essentially saying here is that I was not able to download something, right? I was not able to download it, so I did a fallback where I'm just gonna, not set the profile picture. Okay, so in here I need to of course do that. So private static final logger, can you do it for me? Awesome. This is not what I wanted. Logger. Yeah. One thing I wanted to quickly know is, by the way, did the Java launch start yet? Java 25 launch video, did it actually start? What is NipaFX saying? I forgot his name. His name is Nikolai or something. I have to check on Discord actually. But this is it, right? No. Live stream. And I cannot type, I feel. Java 1. Java 1. Was it Java 1? It was Java itself. Oh, okay. It just started. Okay, it just started. What's the latest version you use? Neither. I am a C# guy now, apparently. But the last time I used Java was 8. Yeah, if anybody is interested. If anyone is interested. Java 25 launch. Yeah. The whole point of virtual threads is that it's not async. Okay, so we have quite a huge show, 3.5 hours of talk. Wow. Stream gatherers. Who's gonna talk today, by the way? I'm just wondering. Are they gonna say who's gonna talk today? Nikolai. Okay, so his name is Nikolai Parlog. Yeah, NipaFX, I think. I forgot his name. I forgot his name somewhere down the line. Awesome. Yeah. Paul Sandos, I think, is working on AI. I think I forgot the name of the project actually for this. The JEP. Paul Baker is the Netflix guy. Paul Baker is a Netflix guy. Dr. Deprecate. Poonam Pahar, I don't know. Stuart Marks, I don't know. Ted Young, I know. Okay. Paul is giving a talk today. I thought. Okay, so it's not gonna be Brian or somebody. I thought that gonna come. So NipaFX, somewhere down the line there should be NipaFX, I guess. Yeah, NipaFX. Yeah, this is the guy. It's a pretty cool guy. To hang out with. Actually, I have to start thinking about how to work with my own server. I see one of my friends, Seeker, has joined. This is Winterscar, who's my colleague, who has joined, and I haven't done anything to actually do the setup. Wow, so there are only 3 members on this thing. But yeah, if you're interested to join this, how can I copy the not server settings? How can I just copy it? Might invite people. Can I copy this? Hidden, use copy button. Okay. Cool. Okay. I think we are back. We need to be back. Okay. So the point here is that Yeah, the point here is that I do want to have this thing. And how do you do what do you call so let's call it a private final blob storage. So let's actually not do that. Okay, so let's actually just save the image right here. And question is how we are going to do that. So I think the first thing we have to do is start Spring IO. We have to bring in a couple of Azure stuff. Blob store. Yes. Okay. So you have to do this. Okay. So this is dependency management. So you have to bring in this. Boop, 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 boop. So after that, I need this guy. And then I need this dependency management, which basically says like different repositories to add for bringing in this dependency. Let's quickly do that. And I forgot how to actually use Azure Blob Store. Spring Azure storage example. Okay. Here's Spring Boot. Okay. Let's look at Microsoft. This thing. So Azure subscription and all of those. Spring initializer. Yeah, so you brought in these kind of things. Okay. So you also have the starter. So you only have storage blob. I guess it's the same thing. So you have to put in these two things. Okay. Create a new blob controller. That is not kind of what I'm interested in, honestly. So I have the binary. I just want to upload the binary. You have to tell me how I do that. OS.write data get bytes. Wait, what? That is honestly kind of sus. So maybe I should go to this thing. Oh, no. I don't want to. Okay. So you have a secret client, which is secret client is coming from Azure, from Vault Secrets. Avoid hard-coding information size client ID and secrets. Okay. Yeah, this is also a good point. I should actually be putting those in a vault and instead of putting it in a... I mean, for now, again, like I mentioned, it's just an open source thing, so I can just put it in a... Okay. Yeah, I just gotta go offline for a second. Just wanna go offline. I mean, not offline. I'll just be back in a sec. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yep. And coming back to the problem. So here is one thing. Maybe it's a good idea, since I'm making it open source, maybe it's a good idea to give the user an option saying, okay, what's the kind of backend you want to use? Do you want to use your own cloud storage? Do you want to use S3? But for now, I don't know if it's a good idea to actually give that kind of flexibility and think in that term. but I think it's probably a good idea to actually keep that in mind. Maybe give the user configuration for choosing their own backend. FS S3 whatever, right? Whatever, yeah. So that's one thing. Other than that, I think we should be good to get started. But the question here is, I'm not interested in secrets. I'm interested in how do you actually work with the okay, you don't have that. You have some samples, storage, integration storage, blob storage, sample, file share. This is exactly what we need. Holy shit, look at that. This is exactly what I was talking about, where I also want to do the same thing. I also want to do the same kind of thing. But okay. For now, let's just ignore this. So we go here. What will you build? I don't need an Azure subscription, to be honest. That's one thing. The reason why I don't need an Azure subscription is I'm using Azure, right? So it's gonna be a public thing. Okay, so how do you exactly do that? Using to get resources with file patterns is not I'm interested. Get mapping, post mapping. Okay, so this is how you write. Again, this is the same thing. It says blob was updated. So you say resource loader get. Okay, so you're picking up the file. You're picking up the file as a resource. Okay. Output stream is writable get output stream. OS start this thing. And resource is here. Man, I'm very confused. Where is the blob client and things like that? How do you even start uploading that shit? You just say blob container name, protocol resolver. Okay, so where do you use that? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna actually look into the older project that I worked on. This droplet. In here, there has to be something which I did. Exactly. So there's a blob client configuration. You need a blob service client, which has these kind of things. Sorry, an account name, account key, endpoint. Okay, and then you create an Azure named key credential out of it, and then you just return it back with certain versions that you need for the service. Okay. Now, saying that, if I go to resources, most likely for dev, yes, I have this thing for dev. So you might say, why is this here? Well. So Azure right. So you can just go to its GitHub, and this is basically local. Okay, and if you look up what's the account key, this is also local. I mean, sorry, public, not local. So it's no harm because I push these things into my this thing, right? And the endpoint is basically what kind of thing it is. Okay, so let's quickly get on that. What I'm going to do here is application YAML. Okay, so what is it? Spring Cloud. Okay, Cloud Azure. What all things we have to say? Storage client. So application ID can be very simple as this thing. So I don't think so instance ID is there for us. Yeah, it's not there for us, but we can generate the instance ID somewhere in application YAML. So it's just a random value. Yeah, so it's just a random value that you can generate. This is gonna be useful when we do logging. So that's gonna be useful. And if I explicitly need to know what kind of server this request came from. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So in here, okay, so this is this thing. So I think it's called account name. What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Huh? Ah, blob, not client, by the way. Account name is gonna be this thing here. This is gonna be this, and this here is gonna be this. Spring Cloud Azure Storage account name. Yeah, that's correct. So this also needs to kind of be this thing, but yeah, that's fine for now, I think. That's fine for now, right? So one of the things I want to quickly do here is somewhere also I need to store the container name. So app UI security. I'm not sure what to say here. We'll see. We'll see where exactly to keep that. Okay. So saying that, and I'm keeping it here because I'm gonna put it inside some kind of this thing. I also have to put this and this inside here, but yeah, we'll do that. Don't worry about it, boys. Don't worry about it. We'll do that, and we can keep these two things separate. Technically speaking, we should be keeping it separate. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna remove that. Don't worry about that. Okay. Cool. Cool. So we have to go to configuration, and we have to say blob storage configuration. So this has to be a configure. What the fuck? This has to be a configuration. Public blob service client, and in here, Azure blob property something. Yeah, this. So let's copy paste some stuff. Why am I even bothered about that? So you get this. So I think this is the latest. So okay, so this is what we have built. Cool. So now we need a service which is gonna be blob storage service. Yeah, so this is gonna be an interface. So I'm just gonna say void upload and data. Okay, it really doesn't matter what you upload. You can upload whatever shit you want, right? So now how do I implement this? So this is a service, and here is a question. This here has to be an Azure blob service I'm here. So Azure blob service. So private final blob service client. That's all. Now I forgot how to upload, but that is fine since we can again copy paste some of the things here. Blob blob blob. Oh, look at that! I already thought about these things. It's Azure blob. Okay. So we can copy paste some stuff. Okay. So, okay, you need a blob name and you need expires at. Okay. So string blob name, string container name. So you have to make sure this is this. Okay. How exactly should I be approaching this? So, do I have the container name here, by the way, in my blob storage configuration? No, it's not that. Okay. Yeah, I feel this is fine. Okay. So what I want to do here is that you want to get the container client. You want to get the blob client. So blob service client dot get blob container name. Not this thing. Okay. Okay. So you have this, and this is gonna be the blob client in itself. After that, what you do is blob client dot upload. That's as simple as that. So upload, you need the binary data. So you have to convert it to a binary data. Okay. So let's see binary data. Where is binary data? Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry. So you have to just give it binary data, which is also not this thing. So I'm guessing it has to have some from stream. Okay, you can create from stream. Can I not create from buffer is what I'm trying to understand. From flux. Okay. From bytes. Awesome. So yeah, binary data, binary data from bytes. So let's just call it bytes, raw bytes, right? And this is the data, and you can just say data. Question is, if it fails, what happens? Okay. Set if not match, etag wildcard, upload with response. This is important. Upload with response. And it gives a context of none. So do I have to give it a context so that it can set the or updates the? Okay. So do I have something called upload with? So I have this thing, okay, which takes the blob parallel, the same duration and the context. What exactly do we have to do here, by the way? Because if I just go to upload, what it does here is it creates the blob parallel options with the data dot set this thing, and this thing is very simple. If not override, you set something like etag wildcard and things like that. Okay, and timeout is null and context is null. What is the exact context thing I want to know? Additional context that is passed to the HTTP pipeline during the service call. So maybe we can pass in some kind of correlation ID and things like that, which can help for logging. It's kind of interesting. Okay. Also, you're creating a mono here, and I wonder if mono is from the reactor. Okay, the mono is from the reactor package. So, are you expecting anything like async stuff? Okay. Block with optional timeout, unchecked IO exception, and it throws logger log exception. What does it throw, by the way? Perform logging throwable. What exactly is coming as throwable? Runtime exception. Okay, so you always throw a runtime exception here. So I feel we have to, take care of that too. Upload with response. Upload with response. So it basically gives you back the response, and this response itself should have the status code. So I'm gonna do that, I feel, right? Upload with response, and in here, if I know that correctly, see what they're doing is this, right? What they're doing is this. That's pretty much it. What the fuck is a tier? Access tier. Okay. No. I wanna get back here. Data. So do that and do that, and here you do this. This is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do in here. Yeah. So I don't want to go ahead with this. Blob client dot upload with response. You say this thing in here. Okay. So timeout is null, and then context is also null. And what all things you have off? You can create certain things in here. Okay. So maybe pass the correlation ID. So I have to do a little bit of research on the Azure side and see exactly how things are being done on the other side. Okay. Okay. So this thing will be returning back response. If response dot get status is not equal to 2.1, I think it has to be created, right? So if this is the case, I have to throw new runtime exception, error loading blob for so you don't have things like that, but I can easily say blob name with error code status status code, and response is dot get value. Okay. Yeah. Custom exception. So what do we do here? We have to, I feel, return back the URL. Is it not? Response.get value is the blob item. Get content, get etag, get class modified. How do we do this here? Okay. Okay, so here you're simply saying that Here you're simply saying that blob permission. I don't want to do that actually. I don't want to do that actually. Hmm. So can I just do blob client or get blob URL? Will that work? Okay, let's see. Let's see if that works fine. Blob client dot get blob URL. Well, we can simply say blogger dot info uploaded image file to blob URL is this. We can just say that and exit. So here I have a post construct method where we can think of that later on. Profile service IMPL. If this is this, so here I have to say private final blob storage service. You have this, and once you have this, you're gonna simply say that blob storage service dot upload. So first thing you have to fetch. Oh, we already fetched it. My bad. Sorry. So we have to get the data. So bytes is response not get body. So here bytes. Well, this can also fail, right? Because bytes might be empty. Well, bytes are empty. Do something. Okay, so you have bytes, and then what else do you have? The blob name, and the blob name is gonna be nothing but the ID itself. So string blob name. So this is where we have to say response.get headers. Response.get header. Can I not just get a header? To single value. Holy shit, why do I have to do so much, dude? Why do I have to do so much? Okay. Dot stream. Can I not headers? So headers dot get content type. I'm gonna get this. String content type is this thing. So the blob name is gonna simply be what the heck is headers.get blob name. Okay, so by the way, what do you return? I am generally interested in knowing what you return back as a header, right? So yeah, where are the headers? These are the headers. So you return back an access control, timing allow, expose headers, you say content length, you also say content disposition, which I don't think so we are that interested in. Content length is fine. Yes, we are more interested in content type. In e tag I'm not interested. We are also kind of interested in cache control, honestly. But this thing has to be more Google specific, because people can send the cache control in different ways. It doesn't have to be a very single way of doing thing, right? All service, I don't know what it is, but I don't care right now, I feel. So what I'm more interested in here is the content type. Okay, so the question is, how do I simply say, if the content type is this is what my extension is gonna be. I can always write an util, but I do want to understand if Java has something like that, right? So content type dot split on this scout1, which is this, and then I'm just gonna say blob name plus this thing. Sorry, blob name I'm saying ID plus this thing, and in here maybe file type, something like that. It's not there. I'm just gonna create something called common. Common in here. File utils dot file utils. So you can of course make it this thing. I think. Oh, static. You don't have to make. I don't. Am I hallucinating? I think I'm hallucinating because you can only make this thing, right? So here itself, I think what we can do is public static final content type file extension mapping. Sorry. Content type file extension map is, yeah, so it's a map of string to string, map of I think image JPEG is JPG. So this is this, and then if you have PNG, this is gonna be PNG, and if you have some sort of GIF, it's gonna be GIF. Okay, so file utils dot this thing dot get so this is a file extension. Yeah, so you have that. Blob name is blob name, and then what else do you have? Container name. So container name, I'm just gonna say avatars. Container name, I'm just gonna say user avatars. Okay, for now I'm just gonna hard code this here. Pull from a config. One more thing I'm gonna do right now is straight up, I'm just gonna go ahead and create a blob container. User avatars. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. So this is empty. Okay, cool. So then you save this thing, and here what I do want to do is I actually want to return stuff. So return blob URL. We can probably, you know, inline this thing for now. Logger error. Upload field with status for this thing. Okay, so if I just go back to parent, so this has to be a string where it returns you back with this thing. And where is it called? It's called in here. So you can say avatar URL is this. So profile, new profile dot set avatar URL is this. Awesome, awesome. We have to do a little bit more where we have to, you know, work with caching and all that, but I'll do that later, not right away. So here you save that. So we are not doing anything transactional right now because this can fail. So if this fails, we still do a fallback of not doing this. I think that should be fine. But if this fails, we do a fallback. But what if this fails, right? Where is this thing? Upload fails. We go out of it because we are throwing an exception. But what if this fails? So if save fails, we need to revert back this also, right? We need to revert back this also, I feel. So let's just quickly do that. So right now we don't have anything in the DB. I hope this is, I forgot to do a scale and all that. So I'm just gonna say database appearance. Is that where you do it? Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna do that. Hopefully this is visible now. So you do that, you don't have any entries. You do not have any entries here in refresh. You do not have any entries here also. Okay. Question. What now I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say VaultIQ. If I just go to login with Google, this thing in here, continue. Okay, it didn't have any errors. It didn't have any errors till now, and so it has my entry, and more importantly, it has this thing dot null. Dot null. The fuck is dot null? Oh, I know. Sorry, really sorry for it. We did a stupid mistake. We did a stupid mistake. So in here, what I'm gonna simply do is go back to my code, and I cannot split it. Just have to be content type. That's all. Yeah. Key impact. Okay, so I don't know if I refresh it. Let me quickly do a refresh. Here, log it Google, React Day, continue. Boom. This is there. And so where is my DB? So my DB is here. If I go back here, now it should be correct, which is JPEG. And more importantly, if I refresh this guy, we have a JPEG file here. So I cannot, of course, do that. But if I do copy the URL, and I think I cannot download it right now. So if I just go wget, it will be a 403. Yeah, so I cannot authenticate it and all that. But what I'm going to do right now is, what I want to do right now is I want to generate a pre-signed URL for this. I want to generate a pre-signed URL for this, and I'm going to store that instead of the other thing. The reason behind that is this is going to be very easy for clients to actually, you know, fetch. Like it's basically already pre-signed with a token saying that, okay, you already have this thing which is public for you, so you can just go ahead and do a fetch on this. So that is going to be a more easier thing to do. So right now, as you can see, if I just do this, it's going to say it's not available, like 403. But yeah, once I do the pre-signed URL, I am gonna get back the thing. So there is a little bit thing here. I have to make a decision now that do I store the pre-signed URL here? I think we can store the pre-signed URL here, but the problem here is that every certain amount of time, we have to keep on generating the pre-signed URL. I cannot keep the pre-signed URL generated for like too long. That is not a really good secure way of doing things. So I have to think a little bit on this. So here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. Where is my this thing here? So let's quickly go here. So this was originally my Google user. So if I do this, oh, well, it downloaded it, but that's not what I wanted to actually do. So let me actually delete that stuff. Perl this thing, and in here I want to say output something, whatever. The more important thing here is it gives a cache control. So max age is this. So this has to be in seconds. So this by 60 is those many amount of minutes, by 60 is 24 hours. So it actually does a cache for a single day. So what I was thinking is that every day we can actually refresh the logos, but the avatars. But technically speaking, it's not a great design, I feel, because if you're actually doing it for scale, just imagine that every day at some amount of time, it's gonna fire off a million requests to Google saying, hey, or to any other service providers saying, why don't you refresh the images for me, right? So I have to think a little bit on how to do this. I have to think a little bit on how to do this. So I think right now to move on, we can just generate the pre-signed URL and keep it. We can just generate the pre-signed URL and keep it. And yeah, I would go ahead and do that, you know. So let me actually see how we do that. Okay, so here itself, you say that blob service as signature. So this is the expiry time that you give, permission, set start date, okay, and then you generate a token, and then you just add the token to it. Cool. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna generate a never. I'm just gonna generate a never expiring thing here. So if I just go to blobstore.upload, I get back the string URL. So string get pre-signed URL, string URL, and implement this. So exactly how did we do this here? So we created this thing, permission. Okay, so we created a permission which is saying, okay, the read permission is true, so you cannot override it. And the offset data type, I don't think so we are going to do that. So you have a SAS signature, and if I'm not wrong, the full form is called shared access signature. Yeah, the full form is called shared access signature. So what I'm going to do here is that new this thing, but the important point here is offset expiry time and all of that, right? So if you look at the expiry time in here, sorry, if you look at the expiry time in here, if it's null, it's gonna fail and all that. The time after which SAS will not work. So we can generate the offset for a very long time, I feel. When the SAS will take effect and things like that. So this is okay. This is more deprecated. Just figuring out a way. So is there something like a -1 in here? Or 0? No. Oh. Okay, so it somehow needs the thing. Okay. Expire it. I listen to jazz. The fuck is this? Youngster jazz, okay. The fuck is uh why no music is coming up, man? Okay, this game. Hopefully this is NCS. Hmm. So we need the client also. Signed shared access. Shared access signature, my bad. Hmm. So let's also delete this guy. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so log in with Google. This thing. Okay. So if I go back now and try to find this, so as you can see here, the URL is a little bit different now. Yeah. Yeah, the URL is a little bit different now. So it has got sv equal to something something. So yeah, sr and signature, sv and signature. So there are three things. One is sv, one is sr, one is sp, and then there's a signature which basically holds the information of who can access this. And let's quickly go ahead and look up the thing in here. So if I do a refresh on this, if I copy the URL, so we can still do so as you can see here, authorization failure, but if we do with this, oh, it still says authorization failure. Why? Boop, boop, boop. What is saying, buddy? Also, it is coming as application XML. This also came as 403. Why is that? But what if we remove this? Yeah, that's weird, man. Because if I do this, this passes. But if I remove this thing, it fails. And this is what exactly I was expecting here. Besides ChatGPT, right? Let's see if it can help me solve my problem. So this is this. Cloud storage service. And how do I use it? I basically use it like this. So this in browser gives expected. But this downloads the image. But for curl, both the URLs are giving 403. Right? Curl 3. I wonder what wget will do. So it didn't download the image actually. Okay. I think it has something to do with the browser agent. I'm guessing I have to whitelist some agents also very specifically, but let's see what exactly this has to say. Okay, so I'm just streaming for an hour now, but I think we are good here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick break. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break of 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna be back. You're hitting a shell URL parsing, not an. Okay, this is URL encoded actually, right? I think it's URL. Okay. URL decoder. I forgot what is what, but we can quickly go ahead and decode this guy. Okay, so you have this curl -v. Still fails, buddy. What is it saying exactly? Oh, I have to do it in this thing. Fucking finally. But okay. Okay. So that was me being dumb. But anyways, now it makes sense, right? Hopefully now it makes sense. Yeah, cool. I think this now makes sense. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick break. And yeah, so yeah, cool. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna be back in 5 to 10 minutes. And yeah, we're gonna continue working on this, where we're gonna bring this up on the UI side, and on the home page, we're gonna display a good profile picture. If you do that, I think that is pretty good for like one more hour of stream. But let's see. Cool. So thanks so much. We'll just be back. Yeah. Okay, we back, and yeah. Anyone, any questions till now? Anyone, any questions till now? Why did it? Okay. Yeah, I probably need to put a little bit diffuser on my lights because the light is really harsh on me. So I'm gonna reduce it a little bit. Cool. Okay, anyone, any questions till now? Otherwise, we can move forward. Okay, let's move forward, I guess. Uh-huh. So we save the new profile and then we return it. Well, technically speaking, you can simply return from here. Okay, this is again just a random number that I added, so these sort of cleanups needs to be done later on, which I'm not going to do it right away. Yeah. Mm, this should be fine. So you have this thing, okay. Okay, cool. This makes sense to me. So the profile is basically called as part of this. So let's see who's calling this. So you're calling it here. You're getting the profile details in here. And using the ID and these kind of things, you are basically saying, okay, now do that. Some of the things we can do here is name and email, picture. Okay, so here I suppose you can do name and email, and maybe in this you get back the ID. Because that's all you need, right? Because that's all you need. And let's just say profile ID, being it very explicit of what is happening here. And why don't you like what you don't like about it? Yeah, because we are not written. Okay, so that should be fine. Well, not object, it's object ID. So port it. So it has to go fix here. So this will be object ID. Okay, and in here this will be object ID, and here I can simply turn the ID. In here I can say return ID. We can even call this to be profile ID. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it that we have to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you generate the session cookie and things like that. And when you generate the session cookie, you do a lot of things in here. This also has to be environment driven. But for now, I'm going to keep it in this way. And this also has to be environment driven. This also has to be environment driven because the moment we actually make it secure true, this has to be a strict thing if I'm not wrong. But we'll again figure those things out. Okay, cool. Next thing, what do I need? What do I need? I feel everything is good now. And The only question here is if I do a profile service in here. Ah. Save a local copy of the profile picture. Okay, that is what we are doing here. The next thing that we want to do here is so I feel this is done. This here is done. This here is done. Yeah. One thing we can do is go to blob this thing in here. So here itself, you can have wait, why is this not override? One thing we can do here is public void setup create container if not exists, if not exists, and it's gonna be a post constructing, right? So we're gonna do this. User avatars. Maybe not here. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do that here because this is more of a generic thing that we're doing, right? So yeah. Okay, cool. So now we need to start working on a this thing. So if I go here and if I say profile controller, this is a REST controller request mapping. Let's just say API/me, and consumes is application JSON value, and produces his application JSON value. Okay, so get mapping. Okay, public string get profile. More importantly, private static final logger. So logger.info logged in user is this. So principal dot get name. Okay, and return this thing. That's all we are gonna do right now. Okay, so this is gonna be behind this has to be behind security. This has to be behind a security thing. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? So one of the things we can do here is we have to start working on the security part, right? So here on security, we need a filter, file package filter. So let's just say this is authorization filter. Question is, do you have something like authorization filter? Authorization filter. So do we have anything like that? No, right? So include non-project. Okay, so you have authorization filter from this thing, authorization web filter, blah blah blah, and all of those. So I don't know if that's a good idea to say here. Session token filter. So let's just say that. So this has to extend once per request filter. So it's gonna always be invoked once per this thing. Okay, and I'm gonna implement the method which is to filter internal. Okay. So yeah, the first thing we have to do is request.get cookie something, get cookies, and this is gonna be cookies. So now cookies dot for cookie, if cookie dot get name object dot equals so the question is what kind of cookie name did we give. So let's go to the login controller. What was this for? I forgot. Audience. Okay, so we can do it later on, I suppose. Let's put a to do in here. We're gonna figure out what exactly we have to do. So it's called session token. So if this is this, so what you can do is cookie dot get value, I suppose, and this is gonna be value. Okay. So this is gonna be value. So first thing first, cookie dot get max age. I think for max age the browser itself will take care of it, so I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so string value is null, and here we got a break. So if value is equal to null, we can simply say response dot set status, let's say unauthorized. Okay, and then maybe I just return it back. That's all. I don't think so. We have to go down the filter chain. We can right away stop at that. And this particular pattern is called I forgot what it's called. Filter chain pattern called chain of responsibilities. Yeah, chain of command as in. So command pattern is a different thing, but yeah, this chain of responsibilities. So you have a bunch of filters which should go together one by one, and it would do something, right? Everybody has a single responsibility. It would do. Cool. So let's actually just value and filter chain to filter request response. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. And as far as I know, this has to be a component. If I'm not wrong, this has to be a component because the token session cookie token needs the decoders and stuff to decode this, right? So here itself, filter, if I say there has to be a filter. Okay, so it's called a JWT filter, but yeah, same thing. Yeah, so it has to be a component because it needs to do that. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. We don't need to do a lot of this. I can just say set status and return. I feel that should be good enough. Okay. So now, let's quickly wire it up. To wire it up, I feel what you have to do in here is in the web security configuration, you have to do some things which, again, as usual, I don't remember, but you can always copy paste, and it's absolutely okay to copy paste code. If somebody tells you otherwise, they are dumb. They are really dumb. Yeah, it's better to type things the first time, but once you exactly know what it is, you can simply go ahead and this is also a good thing, is empty. We can do that actually. Or value is empty, you go ahead and do that. Anyways, if it was empty, you would have decoded. I mean, it's just a little bit less things, right? But here, if you go back to your configuration, security configuration, so you just have to say add filter after, and you have to do this. Okay, cool. So your security configuration, you just have to say add filter after. I think it was username add filter before, so you have to pass in this thing, so it needs to be session token filter. Okay, session token filter after username password authentication filter. Yeah, before, sorry. And then you simply build it, right? Yeah, then you simply build it. Okay, so let's actually do this part. Okay, so let's actually do this part. So you have this, and we need postman here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just gonna go to inspect. Let's go to application. So this is a token, and how do I even pass in a cookie? I feel what you can do is HTTP localhost this thing, and you can simply say me. If you send this, it's gonna fail. 403 forbidden. Awesome. Then you can set some cookie stuff, right? So content type is application JSON, and accept application JSON. Okay, so authorization is not there. Instead, we have cookie, and in the cookie, you're gonna send this. If I'm not wrong, that is all you need to do. That is not how you do it. You cannot read the array length because local 6. Okay, so there are no cookies being set here. Okay, so maybe we need to do a little bit check in here where you have the filters. So if cookies is null, our cookies.length is you don't have to do that. So you return right away from here. So let's do this, and you get a 401. So I feel what you have to do is session token is equal to this. I feel you have to send it in this way. No? So let's debug and see exactly how you can send cookies from. You want to configure the debug mode initialization method? Shut up. Okay, it comes here. My bad. I'm really sorry. Okay, so yeah, so cookies. So you have one cookie which is session token, and the other one which is JSession ID. Okay. Okay, let's send it in this way. Wait, why did it stop? So let's step. Okay. And here I want to say, where is my console? Awesome, we have the cookie right here. And what's the cookie? The cookie is nothing but your JWT token. Boom. So this is an invalid signature. Of course, this is an invalid signature, but we can validate the stuff if we actually go back here and we say application YAML. This was a secret we used. Look at that. It motherfucking verified his signature. Sorry, but this is pretty good. We have good progress in here. Awesome. So now the question here is, how do we decode this guy, right? Well, decode should be very simple because so let's go to session token filter. So since this is this thing, what we can do is private final token service session payload, I think it was, yeah. So session payload token service. Wait, what is the issue? Did I do something wrong? Token handler, it was token handler. So session token handler. So add to the constructor. Okay. So now session token handler dot decode. So what all things you have to give? So you have to give the token, and you have to give the issuer, levy, and stuff like that. Good. We can also do that. So private final session properties token properties. Okay. So let's add it to the constructor. What is it cribbing about? There is no auto. I understand. But wait, what the session properties? Yeah, I imported the wrong stuff. It's session token properties, dude. Yeah. So let's get this off. This is this, okay. So now that you have this part, what I do want to do here is okay. What was I doing? Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, so I was trying to decode this guy. So here's token. So let's just call it session token. Okay, so this is session token, and then you have to get the issuer. So session token properties dot get issuer, and then here, what all other things do we need? We need a list of strings, a list of audience. Get, that's the problem, we don't have audience. Okay, so we're gonna hardcode this for now. String audiences list of I think I mentioned some kind of stupid ass name. So later, okay, so later. Then here, what else do we have? Leeway. So int leeway is equal to get leeway. So you have the issuer, you have audience in this thing, and the very simple thing that you can do here is, yeah, it returns a runtime exception, but we need more this exception, right? So I feel here we can say auth exception e. Aha, look at that. We can do auth exception, right? So here we catch the exception. This will be an auth exception actually, and logger dot error. Wait, we don't have a logger. Okay, private static final. You have this, so you can simply say error user invalid session token, logging out user, and then maybe you can just have this. Okay, so this is gonna give you back session payload in here, right? This is what is gonna give you back session payload. The session payload dot name is not something that we want. We want the ID. We want the ID, right? So this is an object ID. An object ID is also fine, I suppose. Is it fine? I think it's fine. So feel what you have to do is username password authentication token is equal to new this thing, and here you can pass in the principal. So this is a principal, and then you can pass in a list of credentials is null, and then list of so there is no permissions as of now because no admin or anything. You're only users. कोई problem नहीं है. You have only users, right? So that's all you have. Okay. So next question is, if you have the authentication token in here, so now I feel what you have to do is security context holder get yeah. So this is what you have to do. And once you have done that, this is where in your controller it will actually log the name. It will actually log the name. Let's see if everything is correct. So let's disable everything for now. Okay. So let's take the token and just okay. Do I not send anything in the token? There is no. Oh, there is the audience also. This thing. Oh, I send this. Where the heck do I send later? Okay. 151. That's weird, buddy. That is weird. So I have to look at the signing. I think I messed up the signing or something. Signed. Okay. Yeah, so you have this as the audience. And then when you try to decurse any one of those, that's okay, we need to think a little bit on this. Okay. So where else sign is called? It's called in the state, it's called in the session token. So here itself I pass in this. So why is this coming up as audience, this thing? Subject is fine. Sure. Okay, I mean, we did something wrong. Let's debug it. Let's debug. One of the ways we can do here is we can go back. We can say continue, and this is gonna okay call Oh, wait. One of the things we are doing wrong here is, yeah. Private static final set string whitelist is set off. So let's quickly actually go through this. Oh. So where is my inspector? Evaluate. Evaluate. Okay. So request.uri something. So if I say this, what do we have? Okay. And URL. You have the entire thing. Okay, in a buffer. This actually gives you back this. Okay. API slash login, not login. What was it? So request.get request URI. So can you just copy the value? Thank you. Copy the value. So this would be login, and this would be this. If so, string URI is this. If whitelist dot contains this URI, I simply want to say filter change of this and return. Yeah, so if I go back, if I say continue, it should never hit this part. It's correct. Why do I hit that part? I don't know. Okay, but I should be hitting this. Honestly, why am I not hitting this? Oh, invalid token and all that. Okay. So log in with Google. Sync. Continue. Okay. So this is this. So if I go here, motherfucker. Okay. It took some time to come back. Came back. Why on earth this audience is getting this? Is something that I'm not getting. Okay. So let's go back. Let's go to log this thing. Let's go here. Let's go say continue. Okay. So let's go here and let's go to sign. So what is audience? Audience is later. So if I say this. So what is the session token being generated? Again, audience is coming up to be this. Why? I'm not getting it. What the fuck is wrong? Issuer. So payload, issuer, audience, IAT, PAT. And what is the payload? It's session payload. Session payload only has this. Okay, so when I go to sign, it signs with audience here. That's weird, right? That's pretty weird. Why the audience is... So what you're expecting here, you're expecting a list of audience. And yeah. So if I say this, well, in my web security, web security configuration. Yeah, right here. Aha. I don't want this. I don't want this. That's a problem. That's the problem. So let's see. That's a problem. Okay, so if I go here, and somewhere down the line it should land there. I guess it's gone, but that's... oh. So if I just continue. Okay. Okay. Okay, so everything is done. This is your token. And if I copy this and if I go here, it's still Did I restart? Okay. Now it never does anything like that. Okay, cool. Okay. So, yeah, this is fine now. This is fine. Okay, we got a bug. Awesome. We got a bug, and it's gonna run it in a normal mode right now. Okay, stop it. Okay. So this is a normal mode right now, and let's remove all the stuff. Sorry. What did we change here? We changed that. That is fine. So in the login controller, we changed. Yes, this is also fine. Session payload. We're gonna remove this. Token handler and things like that. Okay, but now if I take this cookie and here, so there was a way to actually proxy out the cookies. Localhost maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sync cookies with the localhost. 5173. Domain needs to be added. Whatever. We don't care. This works. So we have to change the token. So once we take the token and go here and we send this. Still forbidden, but that's fine. Because state should have a byte of length. Motherfucker, what? Okay. So this is a different kind of issue now. Okay. So this is a different kind of issue. So we just gotta go to the filter. So it came here and it failed here actually. It failed here actually. So the first thing is response dot set status. We're gonna return. Okay. So in here, exception. I'm gonna catch all kind of exceptions in here. Just send it. So it sends for a 1. Invalid session token, logging out user. GitHub Copilot MCP logs. So okay, anyways. Okay, you tried to decode something and you failed. Okay. No issues. So let's come back here. Let's send it. So since we send it, what is a session token? This is a session token which we copy and we go here. So issuer is VaultIQ, this is this, this is this, subject is this. I feel the problem here is when we go to decode, it probably went here and that is where it failed. Yes, this is where it's gonna fail because if decoded JSON has this thing as this, okay, and if I look at the web config, not the web configuration, the security configuration, when you try to extract out the subject, okay, wait, serializer, where's deserializer? Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So if I go here, I feel like this is where we fuck it up. So we have that, and we can simply say, well, invalid expression, so that's fine. New object ID. A palm. I love this music. Love this music. Okay, so where exactly is the issue? Where exactly is the issue, right? We need to figure out where exactly the issue is, and state should be bytes as 12. Okay. Wait a second, why did I have to do that then? And why not just do this? I don't know why I did that. Okay. Holy shit, we did it. Okay. We had some problems, but we finally did it. Logged in profile is this guy. Okay, so let's say that logged in profile is me now, like a different user. So if I just go and say this is the user that I'm going to log in with, continue. Okay, so this is a session token. And wait, so I go here and I say me. I do not say who I am, but I say this is me. And in the token, I mean in the cookie itself, I send this guy. So this is the value it gives me back. Okay, so this is the value that it gives me back. And if I can go here and if I just say ID is, I think, new object ID of this, say it like that, if I'm not wrong. Probably say it like that. That didn't work. Awesome. That didn't work. How do you do that? You don't say new. Is that object ID from something? 0 hex. Do you want me to put hex in here? Input might be okay. So okay, this is 24 characters. Has to be 12 by 24 character hex string. Okay, so 24 character hex string is basically a 12 byte because 268 together is 1 byte, right? So yeah, it's a 12 byte string that is object ID. So I forgot how to do this. Kind of forgot how to do this. How to filter with ID given string ID. Yeah, I kind of forgot how to do that, but hopefully ChatGPT can help out. Bah. Wait, it's ID like that, and you don't need new. Okay, so it's underscore ID. And okay, so that's fine. So yeah, this is basically it. And the more important thing here is, do I have a look at that? I actually have a logo. I didn't know I actually have a logo. So let's look at what kind of logo I have for this account. I wonder if I should do it. Chalo. Oh, I just have to be that sort. That's pretty much it. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, we did this part in here. Okay, we did this part in here, and we're gonna quickly wrap this up. I feel we're gonna quickly wrap this up. So if I actually look at web security config and all of those, so let's close everything down. Profile controller. So in here now, I want to get some details, right? So private final profile service. So add this thing. So what I do need is profile service dot get profile details, and you send the profile ID. Okay, so this is this, and for now I'm gonna just return back profile and not this thing. Okay, so then I'm gonna implement the method in here. And how do you do it? So here, transactional. So I'm gonna use, wait, did I use the wrong transaction? No, I'm gonna say read only is true, and then I'm gonna say profile repository dot find by ID. I'm gonna say this thing. Okay, so here optional, we can simply say this dot or else throw. Okay, new profile not found exception, and in here profile with ID not found, and we can return this. Can I just create this in somewhere exceptions? Okay, so this is gonna be runtime exception. So I think you do it in this way. Override the methods. That's pretty much it. Okay. And in global exception handler, we can say this is for profile not found exception. Handle profile not found exception. Profile not found exception. We can simply say get message. So this is not found for 4. I don't need this. Error code will stop for now. Anyways, it shouldn't go there. But I mean, it's a good fall. It's a good fallback, right? It's a good fallback. So now, profile controller, I have to go and say this is profile. Return response entity dot OK profile, and here response entity slash profile, and look at that. That's basically it. So again, we should have proper details and stuff like that, but we're not gonna do that right away. What I'm gonna instead do now is just keep like this. Okay, so now let's go and let's make this call and look at that. So ID is basically a timestamp update thing, but we ignore that. So you have the name, the email, and the avatar URL and the provider ID. So provider ID and the ID, it's rudimentary for the backend, for the UI. So we should be actually avoiding those things, right? So in here, what I do want to do is quickly do where is model? Do we have details? We don't have details. So detail dot profile details. You know what? Fuck DTO. So we can go to model, we can go to response, profile details, response. Explicitly gonna say that. So private string name and avatar URL. Okay. So getters and setters you have Nota, and here I'm just gonna say value is name. I mean, it's not required. The reason why I'm doing that is I want, yeah, you know what, JavaScript is gonna give another pain in the ass, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. Do we do serializable? Why do we do serializable? But okay, chalo, we can do serializable. Create constant. That's pretty much it. We didn't do anything in this thing, so how is that gonna work, right? So this is profile details response. Okay, so profile details response is this, and maybe we can say profile dot get name, profile dot get email, profile dot get avatar URL. All right, So if you say it like that, you have to create a constructor. So this name is name, email is email, avatar URL is avatar URL. But you also need a empty constructor for Jackson to work. Okay. And that is pretty much it. Okay. And in here, I can say, did I restart? I hopefully restarted. And back here, if I send this, now it only sends the correct things, nothing more. Okay. So this is what the entire thing is. Why is it wrapped? Is it because of, okay, so it's because of that. Okay. Okay. It basically doesn't do that. It just closes this thing. One thing I have to figure out how to set the cookies. I have a proxy setup. I have a interceptor setup. So basically, it should be taking up the proxies from the browser itself, the cookies from the browser itself. So let's see if I can do that, because I don't want to copy over these things again and again. So what is accept? Okay. So there's something called cookies here, and can I do add a domain localhost 5173? Can I do add that? Okay. .5173. If I do add, what happens? To actually bring in the cookie? Look at that. This actually brought in the cookie. So I'm gonna remove this. So I was actually sending JSession ID. And what else are you sending? So there are two cookies, right? There are two cookies. I don't want this. I want session token. Yeah. So how do I bring the cookies right? I have to see that. I haven't used Postman for a long time, but that's fine. But that's fine. So now here, basically, I can pull in the configurations, like the details, right? So that is what this entire thing has been all about. So I believe some of the things we have done, me profile to do this thing. So this is all done. Next thing what I do want to do is a UI integration for login and store profile info into context. Implement me API endpoint for profile details and authentication authorization. Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna take a quick break. It's been long. I did almost a 1 hour session again. So I'm quickly gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a little long break. I'm gonna go call. I have to make some calls. I'm gonna go make some calls, and then let me see if I'm gonna have dinner also. But I'm not hungry yet. But let's see. So yeah, I do want to make it a little bit more. Maybe 45 minutes more, which will actually allow me to do this thing. Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. Okay. Okay. So since it's already 11 o'clock, you know what? I am simply gonna stop the stream now. I think we achieved quite a good amount. I didn't actually realize it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. We did quite a good amount of things today. So tomorrow, I think if I am in the mood, I'm again going to work on this, or probably going to work on algorithms. I'm not very sure. But if you're working on this, we'll complete with UI integration. So we need an auth context where it knows that if it's already authenticated or not. And it also needs a profile context in which the data will already be present. All the APIs for creating the directories and all that will be coming in later. So yeah, create root directory and all that. So right away, we have to create a root directory when the user signs up, and the root directory would be an entry in the MongoDB. Along with that, there'll also be a container created to keep all the files. So these kind of things has to be integrated, and it also kind of needs a little bit of refactoring, because we have to think about transactional values, where currently in my profile service IMPL, profile service IMPL, we do not have transactions when we are creating the profile. So if any one of them fails, so like right when I go to save and the database is not available, there is no point keeping this in, right? So we have to revert those back. There are different ways to do that. One of them is outbox pattern. Outbox pattern is basically saying, okay, you push it in the database and make it a transaction, because in a single database you're gonna have a transactional thing. Though we are using Mongo, which is not asset property compliant and all, but we can do certain ways of doing transactions. We can take help of Spring Data and say that, okay, you make a transaction from your end, right? But we'll kind of explore what things we can do. The bare minimum thing is have a bunch of if else's, and whatever you go forward, and whatever is at whatever point you fail, you always keep a state of whatever things you have achieved, and you just roll those back then. And if one of them rollback fails, you kind of just log there and move forward. There is nothing much you can do at that point, I feel. So yeah, this is what the stream is about, and this is what we're going to work on. Yeah, so I hope this was an informative session. I had fun doing this. I have fun every time I can at least do a little bit and achieve a little bit, so I have fun in that. Yeah, though we didn't write much code, honestly. So yeah, this is the first commit and this is the second commit. So if I look at this, so the other commit is this. So I don't remember how you can get kind of like a gist of how many files. I mean, I think GitHub does it. So GitHub VaultIQ. So probably in Insights, I think it does, saying, okay, enable dependency graph. We don't have any dependencies. No, we do have sorry, we do have dependencies, but yeah, if I look at the commits, or make this repository pro, really, hold on, I'll do it. Why do you have to? So let's see, actually, git show help lines, like email, but lines in the comments start from this thing. Okay, no, this is not what I'm looking for. Git show commit additions and deletions. Can it show that? This one, no. Stat. Okay, maybe what we need is stat. Cool. So it actually tells you how many files. Okay, so 213 insertions and 18 deletions. So on an average, it's how many? 5 here, 195 additions here, and then you have this guy. So git. So there's also called something called numstat. What is that? Oh, it just gives you in a different way, which I don't like. So I like this. And in here, if I look at this commit, this is again 249 insertions, so 11 deletions, so like 38. So 38 and 238 and this thing, how many? 195, right? 195 plus 238, 433 lines of code we wrote. We didn't delete a lot, honestly. We should be deleting a lot more code, I feel. Probably a lot of code we have written is not necessary. This feels like it. Let's see. So anyways, yeah, that's the basic state. And if anybody is interested what we can do, so I'm still not making this public because I will go through this entire thing one more time. And yeah, maybe, so I'll go through this one more time because I haven't actually walked through this repository on my own time. The reason why I don't want to make it public is maybe I kept something wrong in here, secrets, which I don't think so because I've been very careful. But yeah, you can never be too careful, right? So I have to think about that before I actually make it public. So maybe by this particular weekend, I'll make this public. Okay. And I have to do a lot of things like readme and stuff like that. So I haven't done it yet. I have to put up a license and things like that. So I haven't done this bookkeeping stuff, and that's why I'm just not comfortable making it public right now. There is no other reason, honestly. There's no other reason. Okay, so then, huh? Sorry. Oh, you look at that. We already wrote 1,000 lines of code. Java is 77%, but it's soon gonna TypeScript is soon gonna take over because of how things are gonna work. But yeah, sure. Thank you so much. It's been great working on this project, and hopefully I can finish it up very soon. So do consider joining the Discord channel. Slowly, I'm gonna move to notifications right on the Discord channel itself, and not on LinkedIn, Twitter, and all of those. So do consider joining the Discord channel. I haven't set up the Discord server yet, so I'm gonna set up a Discord server properly where you have proper channels. If you want to talk about books, if you want to talk about games, if you want to talk about something else. So I still have to figure out what kind of channels I create, and there can be a notification channel that I can notify people whenever I go live, and if anybody interested can come watch me live. Okay. So yeah, that is basically it. And saying that, thank you so much for everybody who joined. Thank you so much for everybody on YouTube. Hope you had a good session. And tomorrow again, let's meet hopefully at the same time around 7:30, 8 o'clock IST. And yeah, thank you so much and good night.